Well, we sure live in interesting times, don't we? China attacks the entire world and gets away with it. People wind up supposedly committing suicide while they're in prison, even though we know they didn't commit suicide in prison. The rich, the powerful, the elite have never gotten away with as much shit as they've been getting away with lately. And they've just been doing it out in the open, blatantly disrespecting the law, common sense, human dignity. Um, I mean, it's September 14th, 2021, and I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen before the end of next year, this year. The world has literally turned itself upside down. America winds up hiring, a president that sniffs young girls and women and comes out and literally says in a speech how this election was the biggest fraud in US history. And any YouTube channel that talks about that is instantly deleted. And if mine is, I don't really care because I'll just make another one. All I need to do is, use VPN and a new email address and, change my IP address manually and they can't block me. So I'll just make another account. I just, I can't imagine 10 years ago thinking about how the world has actually turned out right now. I couldn't imagine waking up in that world, get my first cup of coffee in, and turn it on the telly and seeing all this crap blasted right in front of you. The Chicago shooting that just happened this weekend, like over 70 people were shot in a high gun controlled city, mind you. And the mayor looks like a fucking monster. I'm not racist or nothing, but that person doesn't look like a person. It look like a creature that crawled up out of hell itself. No wonder they call it Beetlejuice. It doesn't make any sense how the world has turned the way that it has. How entertainment has soured so bad. How how political figures are able to get away with things that they've been getting away with. Like the president calling a 9-year-old girl a 19-year-old girl sitting cute with her legs crossed on national, international television. And that clip was also deleted from the entire internet by Google. Fuck you, Google. If you see this, Google, go fuck yourself for censoring these pedophiles. Go fuck yourself. I just. I don't know what to think anymore. The problem is that each individual person thinks that they can't do anything about any of this that's going on. And that's the main problem, though, is they think they're an individual person, don't realize that there's millions of them thinking and feeling the same exact thing. because we live in a state of isolation that's been brought on. So we're not allowed to gather in public. We're not allowed to, do anything. And the internet has always been an isolationist, basically like it's meant to isolate, meant to turn you into an individual person, an algorithm, and to put you out there. But it's not meant to connect you to everybody. It's not like hanging out at a bar and sharing ideas and opinions and passions and talking to each other in person. It does cut you off from other people. And that's always been an issue with the internet. It always has. Ever since it first came out and was released to the public, you could make a profile of yourself as like an 80-year-old grandmother, and everyone would think that you were an 80-year-old grandmother until they met you in person. So, the internet's, always been imperfect as far as that goes. I would definitely like to see the world change, to see something honorable and good come out before the end of this year. But I don't think that's going to happen. And I pray for all of you that have gotten your jab, because they called it a jab for a reason, because they think you're all stupid. And that you're idiots. Think about that for a minute. And they're the ones that are out of touch with reality. I mean, anyone that has a tanning bed in their office is out of touch with their reality, unless they're Tony Stark. And Tony Stark, unfortunately, isn't a real person. Because if he was, he wouldn't let any of this shit go on. That's for sure. He would be president. Because everyone in America would have voted for him. At least many people would have. Too bad superheroes don't exist in real life. Because somebody like that, they would have arrested all the criminals in politics and in the media. And they would have made damn sure that people that got replaced by those people were honorable, hardworking, and listened and were aware of what was going on. They would have changed the entire world for the better and put it back on track the way it was supposed to be. But we live in an upside down world now. I couldn't believe it when I saw all the things that I saw last year and put it all together mentally, and just like a string, one event after another, and thought about it. All the horrible things that happened last year and this year. Just like, for instance, C4 that was used to detonate in front of the airport was the same C4 that the Taliban seized at the military base. I mean, who would have figured that out? Who saw that coming? It was the same C4 that was used. And in the so-called drone strike the Americans made on that house out in the middle of the city, They knew that that wasn't a bomb. They just wanted to be like, oh yeah, we retaliated. We did something. We just picked a random house and bombed it. Now a family's dead. They knew. They knew. You don't mistake water containers for a bomb. That's impossible. Not when you could read literally the face of a dime from one of their satellites if it's laying on the ground unhindered. And they could see what year is on that dime. They can see skin follicles and hair. They can read the iris of your eye from space. That's bullshit. It doesn't look like grainy black and white footage from like the 70s and 80s anymore. Well, I gotta say, my brothers and sisters of the entire world, we are in a heap of shit. We're in a heap of shit. And I have no idea what's gonna happen next. But I will tell you one thing. It's either gonna get better or it's gonna get a lot worse. And I have a feeling it's gonna get a lot worse. I just wanted to put this video out there to talk about some of the minor subjects that have been on my mind because we might not be here in 3 months, but my video may still be somewhere on the internet, left behind by me. You never know. Well, that's all I got for now. See ya.